Such a demarcation of borders would have to take place.
I think a typical imperialist way of thinking came into play. Despite my deep respect for genuine Russian Democrats, and they remain genuine Democrats, those who raised the questions of borders showed an imperialist way of thinking. That is, that Russia is still an empire, and all the rest should submit to it, with no right to choose for themselves.
An indication of how difficult it might be to contain the nationalist mood was revealed a few days later. The Union flag above the parliament in Kiev was to be replaced with the Ukrainian one. There was much rejoicing when the symbol of the Soviet Union was lowered. However, when their flag was raised, they realized that lurking behind it was the old Union flag. Celebration turned to anger. The crowd moved on the parliament, some pausing only to rip up their Soviet Union passports. A nationalist deputy finally appeared to reassure the crowd that their wishes had been met. Even though the Ukrainian president had wanted to retain the Union flag until a referendum in December, he bowed to a people who were impatient for independence. The death of communism had loosened the remaining restraints on nationalism.
It's a very precious moment, which we've been waiting for since childhood. Our parents taught us to cherish this flag, and we've been keeping it alive till today. So it's a moment of great joy.
This is our blessing which God has sent from heaven. Now we're hoping for a happy life in our new country and with the rest of the world.
If Yeltsin's statement on borders was intended to create a sense of crisis, it succeeded. In this courtyard in Kiev, they were signing up to join an unofficial National Guard. There was no doubt who they regarded as the potential enemy.
Many Russians support Ukrainian independence, but some still have imperialist feelings. Take Yeltsin. He defended democracy, but as soon as the Ukraine declared its independence, he put forward territorial claims to the Ukraine.
With tension rising, Alexander Rutskoy, the Russian vice president, was dispatched to Kiev by Boris Yeltsin. Although they announced that an agreement had been met, it was apparent that Russia had not lifted its threat to redraw the borders.
If you read the communiqué, it clearly cites Article 6 of the treaty. That says territorial integrity is to be preserved within the existing framework of the Soviet Union. But if a republic is going to break away from the Union and doesn't intend to sign the Union treaty, even in the form that was recently suggested, then the questions of borders will have to be settled.
Yeltsin, through his envoy, was using his muscle to ensure a deal. The republics could have their independence, but the process must be orderly, with economic ties retained. Anatomy of a Coup will return on Discovery Journal.